All right, good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. My name is Kata, and welcome to K2B Fitness, and welcome to the Saturday Surprise Workout. Today's workout, we're just going to do a nice basic ab and core workout. So a little bit of glutes. We're going to be adding in some bridges, but we're going to be doing core exercises today. It's a 40 seconds work, 10-second rest, no repeat. So the only time we repeat is when we do right side and then left side. The majority of these exercises are spine safe, so safe for osteoporosis and osteopenia. But I also want to make sure that if we were doing some of the rotation exercises, I will try to remember to offer a modification because you don't want to do that rotation and then a lot of flexion and extension if you have osteoporosis. But the majority of these exercises you can absolutely do with us. We're going to be doing some standing, we're going to be doing some kneeling, and you can always do those standing or seated if you prefer, and then we're going to be doing some on the floor. Most of them will be on our backs, a few of them we will be on our sides, such as side planks, or on our hands and knees. So just keep that in mind as we are getting ready for our workout today. But we are going to go ahead and get started with our warm-up. All right, we're just going to bring it up in the center and then take it back out. Good, big breath in and out. And it's a little chilly for me still today. Mother Nature doesn't quite know what she wants to do. We're kind of getting spring fever, but it's still a little bit cool. Good. One more. All right, we're just gonna roll the shoulders up, back, and down. So we're just kind of getting the blood flowing here. So even though we're gonna be focusing on our core, we are gonna be doing some planks and things like that. So we do need to wake up the entire body. Good, couple more. All right, bring it in the center. We're just gonna reach. A little bit of a cross body reach, and you can always just keep it right in the center. So it's just waking up the upper back a little bit, getting that blood flowing. At 4, 3, 2. All right, we're gonna take it up and overhead. So just a little side tap and a little side bend, reach it up and overhead. 4, and 3, 2, and 1. Good. Go ahead and bring it into the center. Finally getting kind of warm enough. Hoodie is coming off. So we're going to breathe in and then breathe out. Breathe in and out. So as we are breathing, we're breathing into our belly. And as we exhale, we're tightening up. So no movement of the spine or the pelvis. And then exhale. Good. Breathe in and out. So this is all at your own pace. All right, bring it into the center. Slow deadlift. We're going to hinge. We're going to stand up nice and tall. I like to put my hands on my hips. So I'm really thinking I'm pressing forward with my thumb and I'm pressing back with my pinky. I'm also kind of basically I'm making a finger sandwich. So I'm creating a sandwich between my thigh and my pelvis. So we are going to be doing bridges today. And for some of these, if you don't want to be on the floor, you're going to be kind of doing a little bit of a variation of a standing bridge, which is what this is. Focusing on those hinges. So hinge forward, bring it up nice and tall. One more time. Good, bring it in. We're just gonna march. So tall chest, again, belly in. So find that happy medium between a forward and a backwards rocked pelvis. We're just gonna do a little bit of a march here. 4, 3, switching hamstring curls. So think about kicking yourself in the tush, trying to keep those knees pointing down towards the floor. So a lot of times we start to pop that knee up in front. We want to keep it down. Good. Hands are going to come up. We're going to come back to a knee. We're going to start to rotate. Now again, if you've got osteoporosis, you're just going to do a nice wide march, focusing on that stable spine. The rest of us are right here. All right, hamstring curls, hand goes to the opposite heel. Good. 4, 3, 2. All right, let's bring those feet hip width apart. We're gonna lift our heels. We're gonna open and close at the chest. Really think, squeeze the shoulder blades together, pull that band apart. 4, 3, 2. All right, bring it in the center, arms up. We're going to pull, alternating lift and lower of those toes. 4, 3, 2. All right, give yourself a little bit of space. We're going to go for a nice good plank walkout. So feet hip width apart, walk yourself out into a plank. We're just going to hold the plank for a moment. Now we're going to walk ourselves all the way back up. So take it down, walk it out, hold a plank, good position, shoulders over wrists, then walk yourself back up. If you have that chair, if you're not going to go to the floor today, or if you need to modify, I highly recommend having a chair because that's going to make your modifications a little bit easier. But you can always do hands on the seat of the chair and step yourself back into your plank and come up to standing. Good. I'm going to do one more. Let's bring it all the way up. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Wide stance. Last exercise we're going to do is we're going to do a side and then a side. We're going to take the arms up and we're going to add a little bit of a rotation, reaching the shoulder towards the foot. Now you can keep it here and just focus on working your hands and focus on a stable core. But if you can, nice and steady. Stretching out the inner thighs, reach it up. Couple more. All right, let's go ahead and bring it into the center. So we're going to very carefully walk our feet in. A little bit of a march. Grab a quick drink of water. We're going to do a couple exercises standing. So we've got 3 standing, and then I think we have about 4 or 5 that are kneeling. So you can do those standing or seated. Well, we're going to start with a single side farmer's carry. So I want you to pick a heavy weight. I want you to pick a heavy weight, a heavy item, and we're going to carry it on one side only. This is one where the heavier the weight, the more you're going to notice it, the more challenging it will be. So for the farmer's carry, the challenge, don't lean and don't lean. We want to stay nice and tall even though this weight is trying to pull us down. So 40 seconds in 3, 2, and 1. So nice, good farmer's carry. So nice and tall, shoulders down and back, core is braced. Now you can just walk around your room. I'm going to walk around. I'm going to go forwards and backwards. Little bit of knee rehab continuing here. So I just had a very, very minor injury to my meniscus. I'm still doing good, but I have days where I feel a little bit swollen. So just nice, good walking, nice, good marching. You're doing anti-flexion, and this is really important for stabilizing that spine and building a strong core. 2 and 1. Good. 10 seconds rest. We're going to switch it over to the other side. Same thing. So nice and tall. 2 and 1. So you can see shoulders down and back. I'm going to walk myself forwards, and then I'm going to walk myself backwards. And a lot of times, once we start getting a little heavier, we kind of start to lean, or we let it pull us. We want to be nice and tall. We're actually working the opposite side right here. We're also using this shoulder. We're not pulling it up. We're keeping it nice and tall. Shoulder down and back, stabilizing our shoulders as well as our core. It's the great thing about this. So I'm using, I think this one's a 20. No, this one's a 25. So I've got a 25 today, and I'm noticing it a lot more than the 15. Good. Rest. All right, weighted march. We're gonna go for racked. So hopefully that means you can do this at your shoulders. Good. So hands at your shoulders, nice and tall. We're gonna march and march. Now, if you need to have your hands down by your hips, go for it. You can absolutely have your hands down by your hips. That's going to be an easier version of this. But if you can, hold it up your shoulders, brace your core. We're not rounding, we're not leaning back, we're not trying to march as fast as we can. Thighs up. Our next exercise is going to be a press out, standing or kneeling. So if you can kneel, great. Good, 3, 2, and 1. All right, quick transition. Full kneeling or standing, light to medium dumbbell. We're gonna bring it up, tuck it under, press it out, and bring it in. Press it out, bring it in. So we don't wanna let our hips be back by our heels, and we don't wanna be leaning back or leaning forward. Hips are tucked under, stack it. Shoulders, hips, down to your knees. And again, standing is just fine. You can absolutely remain in a standing position for these next few exercises. Good, 10 seconds. So press it out, bring it in. Good, 3, 2, and 1. Half kneeling, we're gonna do a chop. So half kneeling chop, going down to your hip, rotating up towards the ceiling, right here. So we're gonna take it down, and we're gonna bring it up. Down and up. So again, if you need to, if you don't wanna rotate, you're gonna do your half kneeling, hip to shoulder. Notice my core doesn't move. You can take it down and bring it up here. We don't wanna let the hips rotate with this one. That's kind of the important part. Down and lift. 15 seconds. We're going to switch sides. Good, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, bring it in. Switching over to the other side. Nice, good half kneeling position. Tuck your tail, squeeze your glute. 2, and 1. So remember, option 1 here and here. You're adding that movement. When you stabilize your core, stabilize your hips. I consider glutes to be part of the core because it's kind of attached. And if your glutes are a little weak and your hips are a little tight, then you wind up having issues with your core as well. So rotate and bring it up. Good, 15 seconds. We're gonna do a kneeling around the world. I prefer doing this with a kettlebell, but a dumbbell is possible. Good, 3, 2, and 1. So full kneeling around the world. We're gonna take our dumbbell. We're gonna pass it all the way around. All the way around. Time's on. Now we wanna make sure that we're not leaning forwards and backwards. So good pass. Belly's in. Hips are tucked under. Nice, good squeeze. Again, standing is just fine. When you're standing especially, good. Change direction. For those of you that are doing the round the world, we're gonna try to keep our core nice and tight, no wobbling, no hip movement, just nice and tall. Next exercise is going to be a kneeling bridge. Standing, you're gonna do that deadlift like we did in the warm-up. 2, and 1. All right, kneeling bridge. I like toes tucked under, nice and tall. We're not bending over or shifting back. Right here, it's a hinge and a lift. So I want you to imagine you're touching your hips to your heels. Stand up nice and tall. Down and lift. Weights are optional. Your next exercise is going to be a dead bug. We're gonna do one side only. We're gonna do a little isometric on the other side. So you're gonna quick flip over onto your back. So when we come up, no hips forwards, hips under and tall. Good, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Flip it over onto your back. Dead bug position, right hand and right thigh are gonna be best buddies. 2 and 1. So right hand, right thigh, best buddies, left leg, left arm are gonna go down and up. So right hand, right leg, little isometric here. If this is a bit much, you can just hold it, or you can even put that right foot on the floor, make it a little easier for yourself. I want you to imagine that you cannot put your hand behind the small of your back. You cannot fit even a piece of paper in between your back and the ground. So just nice, good reach. Bring it in. Good. Go ahead and switch it over to the other side. A little bit of a 10-second rest. So left hand on your left thigh, and then you're going to bring right arm and leg up. So take it down and lift. So your left thigh is pressing into your hand is pressing into your thigh. Isometric work here, and then we lower and lift. Again, you can always just hold it or have that foot on the ground. That's all right. This makes it a little bit easier, a little bit less to think about. Next exercise is going to be just a basic glute bridge. Good. All right. Hips, knees, and second toe are all in alignment. Little bit of a rib tuck, pull it in. I like to drive my elbows into the ground, lift. Option 1, lift and hold. Option 2, lift and lower. Now I'm not using my elbows to help me lift up. What I am doing is I'm driving my elbows into the ground, engaging my upper back, and I'm just doing a nice good squeeze and lift. So I always have my elbows digging into the ground at all times. So I'm focusing on my core. As I lift my hips up, my ribs come with. So we don't want to do little bitty ones here because we're rounding our back a little bit. Lift all the way, full torso. Next exercise is going to be a toe touch crunch. So we're going to take the legs up. We're going to reach up towards your toes and then back down. So we're just going to lift and lower right here. Now I want you to think, instead of reaching for your toes and doing a big rounding here, I want you to lift your torso towards the ceiling. So there is there's a little bit of flexion and extension in the upper spine, nothing really going on in the lower, or you can just lift and hold. This is okay too. So I want you to reach to the ceiling, bring it back down. Reach to the ceiling and bring it back down. Slow and steady. Again, you can always just hold it up at the top. Isometric work. Good. Now we're going to hold it here. Option 1 down. Option 2 lifted, alternating leg lowers. One leg down, one leg up. Here we go. So slowly lower, lift it back up. Low back, pull down close to the floor. Just that little bit of a pelvic tuck, not a lot. I'm going to take it down, and then we're going to bring it back up again. Again, make it a little bit harder. We do an isometric lift right here. Next exercise is going to be a bridge with a march. We're going to add in that march. Good, bring it in. We're going to take our hips, a little bit of a tuck. We're going to drive those elbows into the ground again. We're going to lift it up. We're going to hold our bridge right here. And your option 1 is just to start alternating some heel lifts. Option 2 is we're actually going to lift, lower, lift, lower. And as we lift, take a note. So for example here, if I lift my right leg up and my left hip drops, but the other side is fine, it lets me know I need to work on that left glute a little bit. The challenge is to keep those hips lifted, and when we march, nothing moves except your legs. Our next exercise is going to be bicycles. So just a nice good march. Lift those hips. Good. Bring it in. hips down. Option one is we're going to do shoulder towards the opposite knee. Time is on. The higher your legs, the easier this is. If you can take them down lower, go for it. If you need to, again, isometric hold, and you're just gonna do the bicycle portion with no rotation. So just shoulder and shoulder, slow and steady. We don't wanna do fast, here and here. If you need to, you can always have feet on the ground, reach for the outside of the knee. Good. All right, frog crunch. Pull the low back into the floor, bottoms of the feet touching or as close as you can get them to touch. Good, here we go. So this time, if you can, reach like you're trying to reach between your knees, a little bit more rotation. Option, again, lift, hold. Hold it for a period of time, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, bring it back down. So we're gonna reach and lower, reach and lower. When I lower, I don't let my low back lift off the ground. I try to keep not a lot of rounding and arching of my spine. Nice good exhale. And again, we don't want to push our tummies up and out to form a loaf. We want to keep it neutral and tighten. Good. All right, single leg bridge. Leg can be crossed, pulled into the chest, or just lift it up. And we're just going to lift. So option one right here, lift and hold. Lift and hold. Option two is we lift and lower. And a lot of people, when we start doing single leg, realize, oh, hey, my left leg is a lot weaker than my right. So just a nice good lift. A good way to make sure that you're not cheating, as they say, is to kind of pull that knee into the chest. It's going to help you hold a little bit of a neutral spine position as we lift and lower. But you can take leg up or even a little bit of a figure four. Good, bring it in, switching over to the other side. Nice, good single leg bridge here. A lot of times it helps to get into position, lift the body up, and then lift that opposite leg off of the floor. Hold it here, again, down and lift, down and lift. I can definitely feel, you'd think my right side is stronger, but I can definitely feel more burning in this side than the other. This is also the leg where I have the meniscus injury, so that could be part of it. A little bit of a muscle imbalance here. Good. All right, we're gonna go for a reverse crunch. So option one right here, just a little bit of a pelvic tuck, pelvic tuck. Good. Option two, little tuck and round, lifting the knees into the chest. Option three, tuck, push the feet to the ceiling. So not to the floor over your head, but towards the ceiling. Now, if you're sitting, you can sit in your chair, hold on to the seat of your chair, and you're gonna do a double knee lift. So lift and tuck. And remember, we wanna control it. We don't wanna lift and then smack our hips to the floor. Up and controlled. Good. Bring it all the way up to a V-sit position. We're going to do a little bit of a rotation with a leg lift in. So we're going to bring it in, reach for the foot, reach for the foot. Now, if you need to, again, right here, V-sit, hold, just lift and lower. But option, can we reach for that foot? We have 4 more exercises. We're going to do a plank, Superman or Superwoman, and then we have a side plank on the right, side plank on the left. Good. 3, 2, and 1. All right, coming over for our plank. You can do hands, you can do elbows, you can do knees, you can do toes. Good. So go ahead, bring it up. We're just gonna do a nice good plank. I want you to hold it as long as you can. So I'm doing a harder version for me, full toes, but then if you need to, drop it down to your knees, try to keep going. Quality over quantity. So nice good lift. Good, we've got 12 seconds. We're gonna go all the way down for supers. Working a little bit of low back, and that includes our core. Good, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it down. We're gonna take it all the way down onto our tummies. We're gonna take our arms out to the side. Option 1, lift and hold. Good, right here. So lift, and we're gonna hold, just like this. So does not have to be push yourself up really high. We don't wanna do flopping, kind of like a fish that's out of water. Just lift and hold, shoulders down, squeeze the shoulder blades together, drive the elbows down. And then we're going to optionally add a reach out and a pull back. Got less than 15 seconds. We're gonna come up for a side plank. Squeeze those glutes. 3, 2, and 1. I'm gonna go ahead and bring it up. Nice good side plank. Find your position. Good, let's go ahead and bring it up. So just a nice good side plank, and you can be on your knee, top leg straight. I want you to think, instead of having your hand here, I want you to try to open that shoulder like you want this shoulder to touch the wall. We're trying to be as straight as we can. So nice and tall. A lot of times we start to round and turn ourselves forwards. We're gonna open up to the back, and everything is nice and stacked, just like if we're standing up. Good, 10 seconds. Good, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, carefully bring it down. Switching over to the other side, same thing. Good, here's 2 and 1. So we're gonna bring it all the way up, nice and tall. So this arm, pull that shoulder down and back into your back pocket so we stabilize that shoulder blade nice and tight against our torso. We don't wanna let our arm go way out here. We're putting a lot of pressure on the shoulder and the wrist here. Just bring it up. If you need to be on your knees, this is a really good option. So remember, side planks. Planks and side planks are a total body exercise. They really get everything great for stability. So you're not just working your core, you're working your hips, your shoulders, your inner thighs. 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Bring it all the way down. Take a minute, grab a quick drink. Circle the wrists, roll the shoulders if you need to. I'm going to quick put my equipment away, grab a drink, give myself a moment. So we're gonna start with our stretching, and I'm gonna start on my tummy. If you're standing, you can do this standing. You're gonna do the press your hands down on the shelf of your glutes to push your hips forwards. So option 1, rest your chin on your hands, or on an upturned fist, or your upturned fists stacked on top of each other. Those 3 are spine safe. Those are more spine safe, okay? Option, come up into Sphinx. Shoulders down and back, chest is open. Focus on dropping the hips into the floor more than the belly button. So hips go into the floor. So this is one if you don't want to be on your wrists, or if you're a little tight, we're just right here. Good, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna come all the way down. We're gonna do a little bit of a scorpion. If you're standing, you're gonna do a wall stretch. We're gonna take the right arm out into goalpost. Left hand is right by your chest, shoulder down. Left leg, we're going to lift it up. Now we're gonna roll into that right shoulder, keeping the shoulder and the ear close to the ground. We don't wanna push ourselves up. We're just trying to stretch out that right arm and that right chest. And then this is also getting a little bit of hip here. Again, you don't have to do the rotation. You can be up against a wall and just stretching that chest, or in a doorway is another good place to be. Good, bring it in, switching over to the other side. So goalpost, hand by your chest, lift that leg up, roll into your shoulder. So just a nice good chest stretch. Again, if you're standing, you're in a doorway, you're not gonna do the weird thing with the leg. You're just gonna have your arm pressed against that wall, and you're gonna turn your opposite shoulder away from the wall, just to kind of open up and press that shoulder forwards a little bit, that chest and arm. Good, go ahead and bring it back into the center. Nice deep breath in, push yourself up and back. Sit it back into a child's pose. Reach the arms out. Fingertips reaching out, add a little wiggle, side to side if you'd like. Good, and let's go ahead and bring it up, hands and knees. We're gonna do a little bit of cat-cow here. You can always just belly breathe, skip the arch and the round. We're just gonna inhale, and then we're gonna exhale. Good, inhale, and exhale. Good, one more time. In and out. Good, we're gonna sit it back, hips to heels, just a little bit. We're gonna come up to a half kneeling position. Tuck your tail, squeeze your glute, and just a little bit of a press forwards, and then a little press back. Press forwards and press back. So we should be feeling this deeper stretch right in the front of your pelvis. You can do this in a standing position. You can do this sitting sideways in your chair. Good, bring it in, switch it over to the other side. Same thing, tuck your tail, squeeze your glute. A little push forward, a little push back. Forward and back. So we want to make sure, again, we're not arching our back here. It's just that little tuck. So we just feel that deeper stretch right in the front of your hip. Good, last one. Let's pull that front leg back. We're gonna come up to a standing position. If you need to stay seated, that's okay too. Big breath in, reach for the back. Exhale, swallow the back. So big breath in and out. Good, one more time, big breath in and out. And bring it down. We're gonna roll the shoulders up, back, and down into our back pocket. And shoulder down, ear to shoulder, side to side. Bring it up. We're gonna look to the right, look to the left. Right, here's 2 and 1. Bring it in, big breath in, spread the fingers, spread the toes, and exhale. Good, one more time, big breath in and out, and you are all done. So I want you to give yourself a nice good pat on the back and feel good about working on some core strength and core stability, including a little bit of glutes. So I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you have a wonderful weekend and that everything is going well for you. If you want to join us for a live class, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m., Wednesdays and Fridays at 7 a.m. Central Time. It's on Zoom. You can check it out on my website, or I am almost always here on Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. Central, or the replay, the live replay is always available for you at any time. Just look under the live tab on my channel and look for that playlist. Have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you again in class. So bye.